And we're live with Muller and Miller, and we're going to be going over Killer, the next one. So
Miller, I hardly knew her.
Yep, there we go. I'll try and right here we go. Right, Avon and Vila teleport down to the Federation-run Q base on the planet Fosforon in order to obtain, with the help of Avon's former accomplice Tynus, a TP crystal that will allow the crew to decipher the Federation's new pulse code. Meanwhile, K-47, a ship that disappeared 700 years earlier, reappears over Fosforon. The scientists on the base mount an expedition to retrieve it, but on the Liberator, Callie senses life on the ship in an NF moment. Blake decides to warn Q-Base, teleporting down and meeting the scientist in charge, Dr. Belfryer. A corpse is discovered on board K-47 and prepared for autopsy, and then seemingly comes to life and strangles the pathologist shortly thereafter. Two technicians come down with a mysterious virus which spreads throughout the base. Meanwhile, Avon and Tynus initiate their plan, which involves, under cover of a deliberately set fire, faking a malfunction in the crystal, which will necessitate acquiring a replacement. But Villa discovers that Tynus has informed Servalan of their whereabouts and is stalling them to buy her time to get to Fosforon. Avon and Villa steal the crystal and kill Tynus, setting a fire to disguise the damage. Dr. Belfryer learns that the disease is a plague designed to attack only humans who had ventured into space, but dies in order to confine them to their planet. So the aliens want to confine the humans to Earth. Dr. Belfryer learns that the disease is a plague designed to attack only humans who have ventured into space, but dies before he can tell Blake the cure. Against Avon's misgivings, Blake warns the Federation of the nature of the planet's contamination. And I'll let the audience know that this actual episode was written earlier in the series, and I think Robert Holmes got the commission before he realised that Aurak is good for like getting information from the Federation, and also Blake is a little bit more moral in this story. And it's almost like an earlier version of Blake. Because like the previous few episodes, we've seen him be more fanatical, and I think this episode was due to go out earlier on in the season. So then, what do you think, Jeff? Because I think
this episode was good for all of those, melodramatic things, like, you don't trust someone with, who can send a message back to the people that are hunting you down. Don't turn your back to the supposedly dead corpse that's behind you that you don't know. It's like, it was like all those kind of things, like, the kids shouting out in the theater, don't turn your back, don't close the door, don't open the door. And if you do open the door, don't have everybody go in there, and just, stuff like that. But yeah, I fell asleep towards the end of this episode, dozing off several times.
Yeah, we watched them back to back, so I'll blame that on the lateness of the hour, folks.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's possible that more alert, I might have been able to get more enjoyment out of it. I don't know, but to me, it just seemed like there just really wasn't that much compelling going on. The characters, I mean, the acting was fine. The characters they introduced on the base or whatever are right, except for, once again, they demonstrate that every Federation planet's or place has like horrible security. They have a few guards who don't know what they're doing, and it's easy to sneak into just about anywhere. But I guess it sort of fits in that if the idea is that the Federation has brainwashed all these people into just following them and not ever questioning anything, then they wouldn't really need to have that tough a security because nobody tries to do anything. So
yeah, and not that many people are teleport, only the Liberator crew.
Yeah. So I think I said as it was playing that it was a very Star Trek-ish plot. To me, it seemed like it, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it just you know, when it got into the disease part, it was sort of like it changed the dynamic of the episode at that point, but it just didn't. Like Morgan said, it just kind of dragged on, you know.
Right. We'll have a little bit of a go. I forgot to show this in the last episode, but I'll quickly go through. I'll just show this like this. And so, Jeff, is there anything that grabs you in this thing?
Crisp voucher.
Mm.
Bored Federation troopers standing around and looking bored, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, when she said he's so much better than anything I've got left, I said, that's sad.
Yes.
That doesn't really bode well for you.
Yep. Little things in here. The Federation are holding Servalan accountable for her continued failures in intercepting Blake and the Liberator. She attempts to have Travis tried for war crimes, hoping his execution will prevent him revealing more evidence against her. Meanwhile, Blake decides the time has come to teleport down to a planet and wander about for an hour, hoping the crew will let him off for getting Gan killed. When he returns to the Liberator, yeah, go on.
Not just an hour, it was like 13 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, they sort of brought him back early. His first effort. Yeah.
How did he pick that amount of time?
I don't know.
It took me 13 hours to forgive myself, and then I'm back on the ship.
No, but I mean, it's also about if they forgive him. I mean, he put in this whole somewhat weird plot that if one of them don't turn up to the meeting point, to the beacon, then they could say, well, maybe it didn't work. I didn't quite.
Like, well, maybe it genuinely didn't work.
Yeah, yes, there's the danger of that. And I mean, for Blake's part, it actually didn't work.
Yeah, that would have been even funnier, you know, to have when he sets the homing device down, if it, rather than being moved by the creature, instead something just immediately ate it. You know, like the plants around it just swallowed it up. Like.
Yeah. Like, I don't remember it very well. Like, was the beacon working out after Syl moved it? Because they had like trouble locating him, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. The thing was, I think it was due to come on after a certain period of time, like say 13 hours.
Oh, yeah.
But they had to rescue him earlier because the planet was going into absorption mode.
I didn't have as much a problem with this whole concept of him going down to a planet to think, because after the last episode when Gan died, it's straightforward that something like this might happen, and he wanted to isolate himself from the crew, and he couldn't like do this necessarily on the Liberator because it's a small ship. I mean, it's a big ship, but I mean, it's a closed space.
So once again, Ben, we find out that I'm one of the writers of this book because they mentioned the Jinkin 1 thing too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like in Jeff's in simpatico with this book in the style of humour. Now, like here, where it says "I say" is because he played a character in Coronation Street that would say that all the while.
Okay.
Yeah, Susie Quattro. I don't know if you ever seen her. You got a good knowledge of music, Jeff. Seen Susie Quattro?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think she did a song called "Can the Can" or something. That was the major lyric.
I like the stuff about the drinks too. Offers him a snifter of red. Perfectly understandable. Travis has always been a green man. Yeah, I call the green stuff apple drank. Because that's what it looks like. Those jugs of the, either that or engine coolant.
What about this paragraph about Zill?
Still only the fourth most annoying alien in Blake 7, marginally beats the Decimus. Have I seen the Decimus yet?
Yeah, that was in the web. Those little ones. They're like the little children ones.
Like the Ewoks?
Yeah.
Okay, now I think the Ewoks were much better than Zill, but that's. Top position is stupidest looking. I don't know. I thought actually the head in the aquarium was probably stupider looking, but I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, he was written out of it because it was going to be broadcast earlier in the season. Yeah, he was very shouty, Brian Croucher. And then we got. We've got to go. And then we go. Yes, he should have blasted Space Command to oblivion.
Yeah, because Blake's already established that he's not actually interested in destroying the Federation entirely. He just wants to have a little game with them.
Yeah, then there's that bit about the where the Avon and Blake thing. One of these days they're going to leave you. They were almost ready to do it this time. Yes, I thought they might be. You handle them very skillfully, do I? But one more death will do it. Right, amateur hour. Yeah. Zill's costume is only any good from the brow up. Maybe. That's true. Right, we've got to get a move on. So we'll go to this one because this one's because we can go through the comedy aspects of it because showing this book's more important than showing the crabs, I think, because it's a funny book. So I'll move it up when you want me to.
So I think the fake cast member in that list is Hugh Grant, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, probably. So do you quite like the fake cast member thing?
Sometimes when I understand why they did it,
Yeah,
usually you have to explain them to me because it's like somebody that's some British actor I've never heard of.
It's all right for me because I've got a proper cast list that I can compare it to. But before I realised to do that, I was pretty irked by that.
Space plague, but yeah. I think what they said about the last one, describing the story, could apply too about it. If I'd known it was going to drag on, I would have brought my own chef.
Yeah, in this book, they renamed the seasons called A, B, C, and D, but for some reason they've called them like M and R and Q and Z.
Yeah, to me, it's like the doctors were like way too casual about this thing that's going to destroy everybody. It was like, that's interesting. Watch it. It destroys everyone. Oh wait, now it's destroying me. What a bummer.
No, especially at the end when the scientist starts to forget things. He was too collected all the time. Like the whole station was going nuts. That's the reaction you would expect. But the people we see on the screen are too collected about it. Especially Blake, like, it's my time off. Interesting adventure.
Yeah, at first I thought, Ben, that when you told me the thing about the audio story where Avon pretends like he's the he's an android or
Yeah.
whatever with Villa. I was like, are they doing that plot in this episode? And they come down to get the crystal or whatever.
Oh, why did you think that?
Well, just like it seemed like we have this weird team up of Avon and Villa where they are trying to convince somebody that they're supposed to be there. Sneak into the place.
Robert Holmes always pairs up those two, Avon and Villa.
Well, they do have some pretty snappy dialogue between the two of them, so it fits. But Avon's smart enough. He had to think it was pretty obvious the guy was going to sell him out. I mean, that was just, who didn't see that coming? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I was disappointed that he sold them out because it was what you would expect, and they didn't do like something reviving the old friendship between Avon and this guy. That would be more interesting. Were they friends or were they just heist companions? Like
Yeah, I think so.
does Avon truly have any friends?
Well, I've got a grab of that, and there's a good dialogue with Villa where it says, I always told everyone that Avon had a friend somewhere in the galaxy, and then Avon says, and you were right, that must be a novel experience for you. And I think INTJs, if they're watching that, they would go, yes, I'm going to say that at nearly every opportunity. Right. Yeah, they did the glass shot thing, I'll show that in a moment.
The thing about the gynecologist chair. Yeah, like I don't know who G.P. McKenna is, so that joke flies over
Yeah, he played the President Zarkov, ex-President Zarkov in Bounty.
Oh, okay.
The one with the Arabs on, the sort of the Middle Eastern-looking guys.
Yeah.
Right. You see, I don't know if this bit's true because they do put
Probably not.
And then look, 32 years later, Matt Smith's TARDIS console.
Yeah.
Gorgeous smirk directly at the camera. Yeah, Maurice Barry. He was in a Doctor Who. Did he become a director as well, Jeff?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, a snivelling little crease. Yeah, that's right, Jenna does do. Yeah, but she wears a nice outfit, though. Right, I think there's another one. Yes, there we go. Just go through some more and get your thoughts on that, and then I'll get to some images. Got about 10 minutes left. I love that bit when he said, oh my god, I've forgotten how to read. I thought that was quite moving.
Yeah, I think it would have been more effective if it just, I said, if I wasn't already falling asleep at that point.
Yeah.
It'd been a little bit more of a revelation, but instead it was sort of like...
I love this
like
line.
more of a beef.
Like, Villa, you're an idiot. If I make one false move, oh, you know, there's 250,000 volts running through that converter. I make one false move, I'll be so crisped up, what's left of me won't fit into a sandwich.
That's people wearing bits of walls. In the
Yeah.
Michelin Man suits. I said they were just Stay Puft Marshmallow Man suits.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what this bit here, it was a bloke shining a torch under some green plastic. Yeah, I remember thinking to myself, the height of technology. And that set becomes wobblier and wobblier. Because like I said, it's one of those sets where they assemble it and reassemble it because they didn't have dedicated standing sets. Because in those days, film was expensive. What they should have done is like had a standing set in a film studio. But right, that's right. It is because yes, you can see the London in front of it, and I've taken some photos of that. Here we go. Thesaurus. I don't know if that was mentioned. I don't know.
We are not doing a great job of reviewing this episode, actually.
We are because we're showing this is the stuff. Robert Holmes, because this is like one of the main features of this is like showing people from this book.
I mean, just because I have to go doesn't mean that, if you have more stuff to say about it, you can do it and I can check out.
Please don't go. I don't have anything to say about this episode. It was already stated. But I mean, you can't say much about any episodes. You at one point you have to start making stuff up to make it more entertaining. This is what the book does. They make stuff up.
well, the other book. I mean, some of the times they write reading into stuff, but they do mention some themes that are quite interesting. Right, and then I've got.
I think other thing that I thought about those costumes, like with the extra stuff, it almost looked like they were trying to wear like giant ant costumes. They just didn't have the heads, but.
Oh yeah.
Interesting theory. Maybe that's the origin of the costumes.
Well, I like this like S&M type thing.
Avon changed back into his GIMP outfit. I said that while we were watching the episode.
They had different designers. Like June Hudson was, in my opinion, totally self-indulgent with these silly costumes. Like that one was good. Like she just took too many risks. Like self-indulgent, building her own parts. And then I put here on the list, Callie has an NF moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kelly is such an underused character, and I think the writers didn't really know what to do with her.
Yeah, Morgan and I agreed on that. We said that like a couple episodes back, where like basically there's been situations where they could have used the telepathic thing, but they just didn't because it wasn't convenient to the plot.
Look, you've got a wall made out of a sheet with a crease in it. It's like one of the worst wall sets ever.
I think the greatest thing I ever read, and I don't remember who said it, but as the ultimate excuse for like bad sets is you can just say that the whole thing is just a dream, and in a dream your mind creates things. So
Yeah.
So the whole thing is just a cardboard thing to come crashing down. It doesn't matter.
I mean, with series like Blake, I just blend it out.
Yeah.
All the bad scenery, the costumes, the props. I mean, you expect it to be bad, to be hilariously bad, and that it is hilariously bad. I mean, if nothing else.
From a technical point of view, this is called cutting on the action, where they make the cut halfway between he moves his head, so it starts here from this angle where it starts the movement, and the movement is completed in the next shot. So that's called cutting on the action, and it's always a good thing for directors to do because it makes the flow of shots more fluid. And this was something my uncle told me. He made a lot of amateur films. He's now in his 70s. He made films when he was in the RAF. Right. Yeah, these costumes, flipping June Hudson. And of course, some of the actors got to cut bits off. And the guy that played Dr. Belfryer, he was the one going, oh, just cut a bit more off, just cut a bit more to make his costume a bit more sensible.
It's very insect-like. He really looks like Ant-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, Beatles.
I think Jeff is onto something. This might be like leftovers from another production, like that this was. And I mean, he has this insects in his
Yeah,
room that he draws. Maybe they capitalize some other
look,
production
look,
material.
what I'll do is I'll listen to the interview with June Hudson, see if there's any spoilers in it, and if there's not, I'll show you this woman who was like totally self-indulgent. The other one was better. Like the other designer put Jenna in that like biker outfit.
All right, so I give it a 4 out of 10, and I gotta go. So,
Okay,
and I'll see
okay,
you guys later.
Okay.
Bye.
okay.
Yeah.
Wojtek and I can finish this off.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah,
through the main
bye.
thing. Yeah, bye bye. We got through the main thing of just showing the maximum power entries because Jeff likes them. I don't know if you like them, Wojtek. The
Yeah, I mean they're sometimes funny. Then when did this happen? Did they? I mean, I like the last two episodes because they were sci-fi plots.
yeah,
I mean, this is basically aliens. Or it started out like aliens when they found this derelict ship and there was something living there.
Right.
Um,
right. Because we're not up against the pressure of time, folks. Now, I'll go through the slides one by one, but I'm not going to go super slow. So, like I said, that's that bit with the bit where it says there's a guy with a torch underneath that bit of plastic, and then that's when it mentions like such an obvious glass shot. Whereas I remember seeing Return of the Jedi when you see it in high definition. You just see how much matte shots they use. But when you watch it in standard definition, it looks fantastic. But like in high definition, I mean, matte shots can work really well. You get a proper artist who can like do detail really well. It can look good.
yeah, but it's very drafty.
High to technology.
Yes, I mean the technology as it was presented was not bad. I liked like in the previous episode where Jen dies. What was the title?
Pressure point.
Pressure point. I like this self-repairing net that they did. That was unusual for the period of time where they did the series. It was cleverly done.
Oh yeah, with the cameras. When people saw these big cameras, they thought, oh, in the future cameras won't be big, they'll be small. Do you know why they make the cameras big now, Wojtek?
Because they had these cameras and they used them.
No, now they do it so that people know they're being watched and they change their behavior.
Yeah.
Because as we know, they can make cameras tiny now. But they put those cameras around, make them so obvious. I mean, where my grandma lived on the other side of Leicester, there was something there that I actually was pretty pissed off about. Was the authorities, and this was on a council estate, they installed this big camera that would move around and look to see anything from naughty SPs, presumably. But I was thinking, wait a minute, that camera could look inside people's houses. Well, there was this like police camera on this big pole that would move around looking at things.
Well, I mean, you have them a lot over in England. You don't see that here in Germany, like this police cameras.
Initially, that was because of the IRA. That was the excuse, anyway. And then
it's a weird Orwellian thing that you have going on over there.
yeah, it is. I wish we did have a Bill of Rights, and then flares. I loved I thought, what did you shot throughout these episodes? I think Paul Keaton gave a good comedy performance in this episode.
Yes, I mean they always deliver when they are together. This dynamic between the two is great. It's great for comic relief, and it's also very natural. It's not forced like other interactions.
Now the way he looked at him there, I wondered. I mean, if you got Villa's reaction shot in the middle, but I mean, if you were to just show this still to someone, and the reaction on his face, you would think he is gay for Avon. the way he locks eye contact like that.
Maybe, yeah. I always find something. Yeah. Okay. Yes, you are right. The one back.
I'll go back.
Yes. Okay, I see what you mean.
Because some actors like to always try and put a subtext in, and that's especially happened in one of the best films for a gay subtext, maybe the best, is Ben-Hur. And they never told Charlton Heston, but the actor that played Messalis, he was told to play it as ex-gay lovers. And the guy that wrote the screenplay of Ben-Hur, Gore Vidal, is gay himself. So he added that subtext.
Yeah. I barely remember the movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it is, but it has been a long time. The last time I saw it. I mean, of course, it's good. It's one of the greatest movie ever made. I mean,
and it's been made a lot of times. Remade many times. That. Yeah, Beatle costumes.
Yes, like.
But this is just her. This is just this designer. She just wanted to do the wackiest things possible, and it's like, are you an ENTP? You're not doing what's best for the program. You're doing what's best for you, in order to show off your skills. And so you have these like things that are like inappropriate to the program. People need to develop. They need to know where they are. In like when not to take risks, when it's not to build their part. There's lots of people who build their part, and
but I guess a lot of people in general have a very bad opinion on sci-fi series in general. So when they work for a sci-fi project like this, especially like back in those days, they thought, whatever, it's just a sci-fi series.
Right. Right, so here you go, INTJ is watching this. You can have that line. And you were right, that must be a novel experience for you. Yeah. Little things like, again, the looks. Paul Keaton was good in this. And one of Avon's gadgets. We were expecting it to break down any time. And this actor, he knew what he was doing. He kept on asking, just cut a little bit off, so that he doesn't look so silly.
Yeah. And like his costume, yeah.
Yeah, Robert Holmes has an enormous vocabulary. Like there's one episode called Orbit where he used traducers, other words, exomorph.
He was good in this when he the science bubble was quite good. Like when he talks about the nucleic acid and the explanation of what the virus does, and that was quite techno bubble with background, like it was like completely made up and.
I'll just give you the audience a little bit of information, and then I'll let you get back in. Robert Holmes was the youngest non-commissioned officer in World War II on the British side, and he was very clever, very sharp mind. The things that you could see from Robert Holmes. And this, folks, Daenerys, take notes. Eyebrows same colour as the hair. Yeah, go on. I'll let you get back in now.
No, I was basically finished. I mean, the science part of it was well done. Someone with some background knowledge probably had something to do with it.
Oh, it's probably him, Robert Holmes. Like he didn't want to do a story set in the Middle Ages, but he learned all the language. Oh my God. If he had written Game of Thrones, the dialogue would have been fantastic. He wrote this story called Time Warrior, and he would did dialogue like talking about poetry, a long-shanked devil with a mighty nose, and things like that. This guy who's pretending he's cleverer than what he is. He says something like, "Oh, well, it's beyond your reason," and like someone who runs away and says, it fettles me why you ran away. Well, it's beyond your, and he goes, yours is a towering intelligence. And but the things like a long-shanked devil with the mighty nose, but that is great for Middle Ages style dialogue, and the dialogue could just be a little bit wittier in Game of Thrones, but if it went that route, it would slightly detract from the drama. So nowadays, I do slightly want to go more towards realistic dialogue rather than showy dialogue that can draw attention to itself. And to a certain extent, the dialogue in Blade 7 does do that because it's more stylized.
Next up are the Michelin Man, Marshmallow Mans. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Yes, this is what June Hudson. This is what I mean. It's almost like an ENTP costume designer, or actually, I would think.
No,
I'm not sure an ENTP would be that good.
No, an ENTP would do more functional designs. Like it actually has there are reasons why it is like this. I mean, this are probably protective suits, but why are they so? I don't know.
I hate this costume with these enormous bat sleeves that Blake has. That was another June Hudson design. Like, here you go. This is how baggy it is.
Yes, I mean, he teleports down, then he gets into this dust or vapor or whatever it is. And this binoculars. This was interesting too.
Oh, look at this, folks. There is my model Liberator that I got under the TV. Little toy. Here we go. I'll show. 10 Nights Plate 7. There's the toy Liberator. Right, I'll go back to the graphic. Wojtek's just put his mic off. I'm doing that as a phone call. Right, right, here we go. Back to the graphics. Right, okay. Right, you're back. Oh, yes. Now, what I notice a lot in Blade 7 is a lot of director. What do you say to someone like Wojtek? I'll do a little thought experiment with you. So, Wojtek, you're directing something in which someone plays dead, and you've got an actor or actress playing someone dead. What do you tell them to do in order to play dead convincingly?
Well, don't breathe.
Yes, hold your flipping breath.
Yeah. But that's more a problem of the editing and the directing. I mean, they could have been choosing shots where it doesn't appear like the person is breathing. But in this case, it's okay because the corpse is actually reanimated. So you can always say that.
Yeah, except you can't see it breathe. But like the worst one is when Gan died and you see him breathing. but well, actually, the guy that died, Derek Farr, who played Aurak's creator at the end of season 1, he does a good job of dying and being still and looking like a good death scene. This is quite good makeup for the time.
Yeah,
they didn't have proper latex.
the makeup of the zombie was good. I don't know what this this insect terrarium was about. Why was it there? And
Maybe the director with June Hudson, let's have a beetle theme with insects.
yes, and then the costumes. It's weird because they show it off so much. Like they really make a close up on the insects and the grasshoppers and make a point of even in the dialogue to point out that he's drawing them, and I'm not sure what they were going for.
Yeah, no, I think this is so beta quadra gay. This outfit.
Beta quadra gay. That's an expression you have to explain.
Well, I just think that if there's certain kinds, there's certain kinds of gays where they go for that. It's the domination type gays.
Okay, so like
like your old school gays where they're like dressed like that with like studs and stuff. Okay, and it's like you can imagine it's like the beta quadra gays, like an ENFJ gay or an ESTP gay, where it's like whoa, they're like the aggressive style, and it's like this kind of outfit. It's pretty cool. This was like the only decent design she did. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's alright-ish, yeah.
Now this bit here, I find this kind of thing funny. I'll be so crisped up, what's left of me won't fit into a sandwich, because it's like the mental imagery of it. Now, I've got a book called New Comedy Writing by Jean Perret. Wojtek, how much time do we have left?
Let's make it quick, like 10 minutes.
Okay. In Jean Perret's book, he was a successful comedy writer, and his main thesis of comedy appears to be like alpha quadra humor, where it's like a combination of SI and NE in terms of possibilities and the mental images that it conjures up in the mind. So, for instance, when he says here, make one false move, I'll be so crisped up, what's left of me won't fit into a sandwich. So you can imagine him being all crisped up, like burnt to a frazzle.
Yeah, and Villa's reaction to that is you can see that he actually imagined that. I'm a vegetarian. Is he though?
His reactions were very good in this, Paul Keating as Villa. Was good comedy performance, wasn't overdoing it. Like, I mean, like we were talking about expression earlier on when we were offline, folks. We were talking about INFPs, and like I said, you can see so much in the eyes, so much. Even if someone isn't like expressive all over their face, like an ESFJ, you can see so much in their eyes if someone's like an FI type, because they show what they feel, and they can't really control very easily what they feel. That's my point. FI types, it's hard for them to control what they feel because they stay true to themselves. Yeah, we need the crystal. Yeah, here's the thing. Here's an FI versus FE thing. Blake takes risks to help other people. Sometimes people he doesn't even know. And generally, the FI people, like especially INTJ, they only care about people they know. Here, this word. Diapedicitic. Oh yeah, I mean the Liberation book worked out that it is spread by contact. It's not spread through the air. Because that's the kind of... And the Liberation book had a lot of logic for that. That sort of makes sense. Because it explains how the people who got infected were only the people that touched the thing. Here, this was even weirder.
What's that?
That's one of the fire crew with this weird disc built into the costume.
Oh, okay.
I mean, when I see things like this, I think, is the costume designer taking the piss? I mean, I almost get that impression with this particular episode.
I think that they just went nuts. They said whatever.
I wouldn't let it happen as director.
Yeah, but probably like the director said, make some stuff up. He didn't give him like theme directions, like what the general theme should be, what general guidelines for what function this dresses have and how they evolved. Like from an IMDb perspective, I would like think about yes. I would like think about how would the Federation dress? How would what would they wear on this specific planet? An outpost, a science outpost somewhere at the border of the Federation. What's probably the climate of the planet? So
another June Hudson design. She liked it because it looked like a bat. So it's all concepts with her. Oh, look like a Michelin man. Oh, look like a bat. With these wings.
Yeah, but I mean, there has to be like consistency to the world you are living in, and
she doesn't think like that, June Hudson. She does what she wants to do.
Yeah. She saw something like this, and that made her think of that. So she probably, I don't know.
I mean, you just had the point of view. Oh, it's science fiction. I can do what the hell I like.
Yeah.
Because that's what she... I'll show you the interview. I'll watch the interview, see if there's any spoilers in it. Because I think she was only costume designer on season 2. They got rid of her. And but actually what happened is they actually brought in another costume designer that gave more glamorous outfits for Jacqueline Pierce. But you see, Jacqueline Pierce had a nervous breakdown and she came back a little bit campier because she had sort of a sexual reawakening in between the seasons.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one's actually quite good. This gay suit, like the tour.
This one I remember most from Avon, and he looks pretty cool in it. You have to say it.
Again, there's more reaction shots. Actually, we're getting towards the end now because I've got to remember the rest of these slides are the next episode, so we're getting towards the end. Oh yeah, this is that. I thought this was very touching. This bit when oh my god, I've forgotten how to read the formula. This is it. H and oh my god. I've forgotten how to read. And then he gets the and then this there they have that thing about that little discussion.
Wow, Blake looks sinister in this one.
Yeah, he, like I said, he was able. I think the actor was good at. He had a lot of presence, where like that take charge attitude. He had a definite lot of presence about him, like authority. What do you think of Blake's authority? Like the way he can order people around?
He's portrayed as a character that has genius for leadership, as Avon says, but and he, like in Horizon, where he takes control over the slaves in the mine and tells them to eat one after the other. But I don't get why the crew doesn't challenge his authority more.
Well, they do. Avon does, but the problem is...
Avon's the only one.
Yeah, I mean, you see, it's Jenna. Jenna's the pilot. Right? It's the Jenna and Blake axis, and Avon... I mean, like I said, he can't really do the ship on his own, because if you get 3 or more Federation ships after him, the Liberator can't escape on automatic. They need a pilot. And so Avon is in the unenviable position of he needs other people in order to work, and INTJs aren't good at working with other people. Yeah, so they reused this shot from the second episode, and they forgot that it had a little spaceship next to it called the London. And they give different angles to show that this is the little spaceship next to it. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is again. There it is. But it's hard to see, so there you go. I mean, not many people would have seen it. I mean, hardly anyone's going to go, oh, they've reused that shot from last year, darling. And then just go, Ronald Lacey. Getting towards the end now. We are at the end. There's a few more. Morris Barry. June Hudson. That's her name. Sally. She's the culprit. And like I said, I'm going to have a look at the interview, see if there's any... I don't think there are any spoilers.
I completely forgot to ask Jet something I want to ask him from his ESFP perspective about the devoidness of FI in the Blake 7 universe, and if he perceives it like that the Blake 7 universe is basically FI-less.
Apart from Callie.
Yes, apart from Kelly, but they don't use her exactly. And she doesn't get to decide things or to alter the action in any significant way. So
what they did, one thing they did which was cool, they brought back Blake 7. Before they brought the original cast back, they just sort of did a remake on audios. And they put the 7 where the apostrophe should be. And I thought, that's cool.
You seem to be a great fan of Blake 7.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Just as much as Jeff is a huge fan of Homicide: Knife on the Street.
Oh, okay. I saw it once when I was searching for a new sci-fi series to watch that was good. After I have watched pretty much everything that is out there, and yeah, I mean it was okay. As I said, they don't do more with it. It just stays for me. I mean, that's this own opinion, of course. For me, it's there are some good elements that could be developed into something greater, but they don't go anywhere with it.
Well,
also, there's no arc that is moving.
Well, there is,
somewhere.
but I don't want to talk about it. There is an arc in season 2. There is an arc. It comes up in the next few episodes, and there's a big climax to the season, which then carries over at the start of season 3. But there is a big climax because it picks up that thread. I don't want to say any more about it, but the arc has something to do with. Remember, they went to Federation control It's just an empty room. And Travis says it was moved 30 years ago. Right. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, Sevalon has an arc. You see for Sevalon things develop. What I'm kind of annoyed by is that I like the bleakness of it, but they overdo it. Like you have to have a payoff that something is going right for your main characters. Like they should have some victories, but it's like one catastrophe after the other. Every single episode, and they don't make any progress in their main quest.
Their victory is that they escape.
Yes, they make it out alive. That's their great victory.
So I'll just.
I mean, I like the skeptic this skeptical and sarcastical vibe to it, but you have to give me something like a little bit of. Okay, let's finish at this point.
In fact, what I might do that as a thumbnail. Now, would I do some weird matching things? No, I'm not going to do it on my nose.
I'll do the engine smoke.
Yeah, you know when they do things like an explosion in space and you see the smoke go up, and I think, use your brain. If you move the camera above or below, then the smoke won't rise up. Yeah, use your brain.
But you know what? We should maybe review a series that I'm more into because I really don't have much to say about Big, not for like an hour or so. Like I can comment on it for maybe a few minutes, but then like I'm passionate about Game of Thrones, of course. So I look forward to our review, and I look forward to the episode itself because I think a lot of will happen.
And also we're going to go back to those. Like when we're done, we can go back to like episode 1 because that's been doing well in the views. And or would you like to do it a different way? Would you like to go backwards? Would you like to? I think what we could do is review the climax of the previous season because like things follow on. I don't know how you would like to do it.
I think we can just go on with the review of the next episode and intervene. Just talk about what happened before if it's relevant. Like I mean, I did this whole part of the introduction. Okay, Jon Snow died in the last series, and I loved that they didn't put another storyline in front of it, because I would be mad at them if they did that. We ended with Jon Snow dying, and that I want to see what happens next. And that is delivered on that. But all the storylines that they do, you don't see the storylines you want to go forward going fast enough. But yeah, let's talk about that in the review.
Yeah, well, what we can do is how many episodes of Rome were there?
22 maybe.
Okay, I'm prepared because you're doing me a solid by doing these reviews with me. I'll be prepared to go through Rome with you once we've done the Blake Sevens. But
I think you would be much into Rome. Have you seen one episode?
Not yet. Anyway, we can talk about So, folks, all this behind the scenes stuff. So these hangouts take a lot of behind the scenes organising. I'm just saying, folks. It's not by chance that these people turn up.
for the one person who is still watching us.
It says 0 viewers. Well, I actually don't care that these videos get like so few views. But like the Game of Thrones one, like enormous. Now I can imagine though, when we go back and do the Game of Thrones from episode 1, there'll be a spillover effect from somebody. Oh, let's have a look at this as well.
Seriously, can you end the recording now?
Okay.
When we talk